So blendspace is an online platform where you can upload digital content, so things like videos, maybe even lesson plans, or if you were uploading a Word or a PowerPoint document, you could put them onto this. And it means it's in one place that the pupils can access it. It's a bit more accessible than maybe the portal, and also it means that everything's kind of laid out evenly, so you can see it all in one place, and it looks visually a bit more impressive. So the first thing to do is to log in. So if you type into blendspace, or if you type into Google or any search engine blendspace, and then it's the top link. Now you'll need to, dependent on what browser you use, you might need to use or download Chrome or potentially Firefox. Chrome's probably better in this case. It doesn't really work too well on Internet Explorer, but once you've downloaded Chrome, if you then hit login, now if you haven't got a TES account, you need to get one, so you can go in and just log in the normal way to get that, and then you can use this login to generate your blendspace pages. The first screen that you'll come into will show some of the lessons that you've produced and some of the featured lessons that they show actually on the website. So I think you can actually access other people's ones if they've been made public, but we're probably more interested in making your own at this point. So the first thing that you're going to want to probably do is build a lesson. So we're using this really to make a transition lesson page for GCSE into A level. So I've started one here, but I'll start a brand new one to show you. It's pretty straightforward. You would just click on new lesson, and then it will bring up the kind of blank page that you can use. Pretty straightforward really. You can just go in and edit any section by clicking on it. So in this case you might want to put an appropriate title for the web page, so I'll call it that. But you can put in obviously whatever title. Could help if I could spell as well. But you can put in any title that you want. It also, at the top here, it auto saves most of your documents. So any changes that you make, pretty much straight away it saves it. So you don't need to go back and forth clicking save. It will just save what you've previously done. And if you were to exit the browser, it would save your changes pretty much. Okay. You've got two main options when you've got an empty box here. The first one, for section here, you might want to add text. So pretty simply you just write in here what I tend to do on some of my blendspace pages is I tend to put in what the spec point is for this particular lesson. So I tend to add that in here, but you can put in whatever you like. It's key that you always put in done as well. You can edit and change any of these labels at the top just simply by clicking on them. So you could say, change the name of this or any of the boxes that you use, and if you then want to go back in and edit, you can do. Now what you might want to do is you might want to add in particular resources. So we'll start with the thing that most people do, so probably a YouTube clip. So there's two ways you can do this. On the side, this gives you the options of the things that you can upload from. So if we go with this button here, so this is basically like a YouTube search. So you can type in whatever you were looking for, and it's simply drag and drop. If you wanted to check what the video is, you could obviously hit preview and watch it, and then you could drag that into here and it appears there. You can edit any description notes that you wanted to. So for instance, if I was going to set a video, you might want to put in some questions to go along with that. So you can add these in. So Another way of doing this is you can upload another document with the questions on, but you can attach it directly to the actual video there. When the pupils view this and when they see this, it would look like that. So they'll see, in this case, the video, and then you can see at the top there some of the comments that you've put in appear there at the top right. So if you were like posting up a video, you could chuck the questions at the top right. When you want to come out of that, there is an X at the top right where you can come out, and then that brings you back to this page which you can edit. If you already had a video link from YouTube but you didn't want to search for it, you can just insert the web page. So if you had, so if you were on YouTube and you've got a link down in a document or something, you can simply just put the web page. So and again, so just select the video you want. You can copy the web address and then just insert the web address into there. Search for it, it will appear in here, and again, it's a case of drag and drop. You can, as well, if you needed to, you could insert any web page. So if, for instance, you wanted to link up a web page to do with photosynthesis, you could do that. Again, same process, you just search for it. Or if you've got a link already, you could just copy that and then place that into the link, and you can then drag and drop again. So you can start to build up more and more layers of videos. If you needed to add more resources, pretty simply you just click add row, and that adds a completely separate row on the bottom, and you can keep adding more and more stuff into these. One that you might be really interested in is to upload media or a file. So this enables you to upload files that you've got on your network or on your notebook. So you could go into here and then simply like a regular kind of upload, click on the document you want. It might take a few minutes for it to upload, and then again it's just drag and drop. If you wanted to, you can go in and edit. So you give the instructions for what to do, and again when you click off that, that will save automatically. There's a couple of nice features on here as well. So if you've got connections to Dropbox or G Drive, you can connect directly to here, so you can access your files from here as well and upload directly from there. If you don't use Dropbox or Gmail, just ignore that. One of the other neat little things, if you were building up a kind of lesson, or if this doesn't have to necessarily be a lesson, this could be a section of work, so a period of like kind of 2 or 3 lessons. If you discover something that you want to insert to have this in a kind of sensible running order, you can move these around. So if you scroll over any of these sections, you'll see this cursor come up, and then you just click and hold and you can move. So you can reorder things, put them in the order that you want, that's sensible. One of the other neat things is you can have a multiple choice quiz at the end, and it's pretty straightforward. These are pretty standard. You might have seen these on Socrative or one of the other kind of multiple choice online quizzes. You can just enter your question, put in your possible answers. You can add more answers if you need to. On the bottom there you've got the ability to be able to add more answers into here, and then you just select the one that's correct, so in this case first one, and then you can click done to finish. You can then go back in and then label it and then just say what it is, so quiz. You can edit the quiz just by clicking on that, and if you want to add a question, bottom left, add a question in, and you can just keep going. Once you're finished, just click done, and it's finished. I would make sure after every question I would click done, because I've done it before where I've gone through, got to the end, clicked on something else, come out of the page and it hasn't saved it. So anytime you do a quiz, it's probably best to click done pretty regularly. What you're now going to want to do is share this with your groups. So the thing to do is if you click on the top here and this icon which says blendspace, this will bring you back out into the main screen. So this main screen's got on all of the recent lessons that you've done, and it enables you to access the different classes that you set up. So the thing to do is to set up a class. On the sides you can enter the class name, so probably if you're building one for transition you might want to call it Year 12 Transition Biology, or whatever your subject is. Probably putting Victor on there as well. And then you can assign what other grade it is. I suppose you don't need to enter that if it's not required. And you've got this code here, so FWMU. What you can then do is you can give the pupils this class code, and it enables them to easily access this room. You've got here a section where you can register the students, but effectively the students can just go in, build an account in blendspace, and then they can utilise this code so that they can access effectively the content. If the class doesn't immediately appear in My Classes up here, if you just click back on Classes, when it refreshes it should come up. And again, you can just go back in now and you can go back in and edit, or it can tell you the code that you can give to the pupils. So in this case I've just changed this around, just delete this and set up a new one. So XLPR will be the code that you give to the pupils. You then come back out of that, if you click blendspace at the top, come back out of that and go back into the room. If you were wanting to kind of share this with another group member, so somebody else that might want to add to this page, then at the top, if you click share, you'll notice that there's a section on here called collaborate. If you click on there, you can add the email address of somebody or the username of somebody you know that might want to contribute to this, so another member of staff, and so you can add them in, and then they can go in and edit this blendspace as much as you, and then it means that you can obviously share the workload and people can get certain bits done. So if you're needing to, it's that button at the top, so share, and then click down the side and collaborate and enter their username or email. So what you'll have to do then is to add this onto a particular class. So if you go into or back into your blendspace page, and then at the top of the page there's this button here called share. If you click that, and then if you select the group that it's going to go in with, to make sure that it's got the tick there, and that should save it, and it means that the pupils can now access it. And then the pupils, when they log in, they'll be able to see this. So after they've logged in, they'll be able to view this blendspace page that you've made, and they'll be able to see it there. So you can click on that, and that's the page as it appears.